Hi guys, how y'all doing? This week is all about anti-flow. I'm on my period talk, and first of all, let me apologize for the echo you're gonna hear. It's because I'm filming from inside and I'm filming at night, which explains my whiteness. I'm using bulb light, and then my background is white. So, yeah, excuse me looking all this white. Just don't come for me if I send for you. Oh, you'll be looking white. Anyways, first of all, the most important thing is to always know when your anti-flow is coming to town. And a lot of people forget this, a lot of people are busy, a lot of people just don't have this in mind. So I recommend you having a reminder. And for my case, I use an app called Clue. You just have to download it on your phone, and it will just remind you when you are ovulating. It will remind you when you need to, to work for a baby. It reminds you when you're flowing. It just tells you, it reminds you how your fallopian tube works. It shows you your safe days. It is a great app for all women out there. Like, sometimes you'll forget how things happen, and yeah, it will show you your safe days, which is something I don't believe in, because I know people who survived 5,000 years using safe days, and I know people who have 5,000 kids because they believed in safe days. So it's about you. But just go onto Google Play Store or whatever and get that app. It is helpful, guys. Helpful. The other thing is, people, women, as menstruating is not embarrassing, it is a sign of our womanhood. It is okay. It is us. It's what makes us who we are. But it is not okay for you to go and tell everyone, even those who do not care to listen, that you're on your period. You'll be telling us you're on your period in restaurants, in taxis, in banks, everywhere. Like, oh, I'm on my period. Oh, period this, period that. Like, guys, come on. We want not raised like that. Like, no, we don't eat periods. Periods don't make money for us. Just stop telling everyone about your periods. I remember growing up, like, when you were in your period, no one even needed to know. But you'll be telling people, oh, I'm on my period. Just stop. It is gross. And then you go ahead to throw like the wrappers everywhere. Like, guys, where is your sanitation? This is not cool, people. This is not cool. And also take care of your used towels, whatever. If you use tampons, if you use pads, if you use cups, whatever you use, make sure you dispose them off really, really nice. Like, people, where did our integrity go? Growing up, these were things like our parents or guardians emphasized, but now that we are growing up ourselves, we forget these things. Like, go back to your roots. Make sure you just keep the things away, like where they're supposed to be. Yeah. And the other thing is, guys, change underwear. Just because you are experiencing your period and then you are using a pad or a tampon does not mean that you have to use the same underwear for 48 hours. I know someone who will change their towels, but on the same underwear, day in, day out, night in, night out. Guys, that is gross. No wonder you'll be smelling like fish, like fishes. I mean, seriously, how do you change your towel without changing your underwear? It doesn't actually make sense. So guys, work on that. Anytime you feel the need to change your towel, you have to change your underwear too. And also, separate your normal days underwear with your anti-flow underwear. I know y'all don't be wanting to mess up your little cute undies, so get other undies for when anti-flow comes to town. And I would recommend to get like cotton-based underwear. It is just great. It makes you feel great, because during our periods when anti-flow is in town, we tend to feel discomfort. So any good material will just bring comfort to you. And for people who wear thongs, thongs have like really, really ugly material. Yeah, if you know them, you all know what thongs are, right? So yeah, get cotton-based underwear for when you're on your period. Also, stay away from tight clothes, people. I'm not a gynecologist, I'm not a doctor, but I know I'm a woman, so I have a reproductive system, and I learned how things work down that. So when you wear tight clothes during your anti-flow, I mean, I feel like you're putting so much pressure down here, and that is where the fallopian tubes are, which will damage your flow, your overflow, like overflow. And I'm not saying this out of expertise or anything, but out of common sense. And also, since you have something down, like you have a tampon or a pad, you don't need to wear something onto it. It will just bring so much sweat and then heat, and then you will end up on smelling so nice. So during these days, 3 4 days, make sure you wear like flowing things, maybe a dress, maybe a skirt, anything that is not tight, anything that does not bring discomfort to you. And speaking of days, you know, way back in school, learning, they always told us like, periods go from 3 days to like 5 days. I think that was the longest. But now people experience periods longer than that time. Like people experience periods for like 7 days, for 2 weeks, for 20 days, and I feel like that is not normal. Um, yeah, and it happens because of a lot of reasons. Yeah, for some people it's genetic, like it is from their family that they flow for quite a longer time. So if it is genetic, if you've asked around your sisters, your mother, your great grandmother, your aunties, and that is the case with them, I think that is okay. That is genetic, it runs in your blood. But for some people, there are people who've been flowing really nice, when they were young, but things have changed growing up. And it's mostly always about like contraceptives, family planning. um, I know family planning changes the flow again, but that does not make it okay. Just because family planning changed your flow doesn't make it okay. The other thing is, what else? Oh, hormonal imbalance. Yeah, for people who do not use contraceptives and then your flow is damaged, I think it is about hormonal imbalances. So you need to go see a doctor about that, a doctor, gynecologist, whoever is responsible about that, to just make your hormones balance. Other people, it is because of something I'm not going to mention, but you know it. So, for all of the reasons why your flow is not great, I feel like you need to have it great again, because people who tend to flow that much experience problems while conceiving. It is always hard for them to conceive. And then people, obviously, like common sense, if you're losing this much of blood during your menstruation, it will cause you not having enough blood. Why am I speaking like I'm a doctor? Shit. Anyways, I think you get my point. So if your flow goes beyond like the normal time, I think you should see a doctor. It is not cute. Like it is not okay. It is not normal if you flow for longer time. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention is infections. Infections, I think, also damage the flow. I'm not sure about that, but I think they do. Yeah. The other thing is, people, stay away from pads that are scented. I know this sounds like, oh, I need something cute, but the moment you use it, and the moment you just use it, the scent turns into something else. That is why I always recommend tampons, because people who use tampons do not experience these problems. But y'all have ever met someone who will go by you and then you'll be like, oh, she's on her period, or you sit in a taxi next to someone and you'll be like, oh, you're on your period. Make sure you all smell nice during your periods. Like, no one needs to know, and especially no one needs to know you're on your period just because of the way you smell. So stay away from pads that have that scent. It doesn't matter how expensive it is, it doesn't matter how cheap it is. Do pads differ in prices? I don't know. But whatever the case is, make sure you do not smell like a gorilla when you're on your period, guys. It's not cute, and we all been growing up. We're old. You really don't want to smell like that. And also, people are so skeptical about using tampons, but your tampons are amazing. So, and yeah, there are the same. Okay, they're like 200 shillings up pads. But yeah, the moment you start using tampons, you will never go back to using pads. Other people use cups. Like, yeah, there are other alternatives to using pads. Yeah. So I mean, you can try things out, new things out. You're not going to die.